Hi, my name is Selena and welcome to Livelightwel.
Living food, so amazing. Eat life. Hi guys, welcome to Livelightwel. Today I'm going to talk about some of the best broths, drinks, juices, herbal teas, probiotic drinks to drink while you're doing a fast if you can't do a pure water fast. Of course, you should always be doing herbs if you're fasting for illness. I'm doing primarily a fast for illness, but it is also a spiritual fast, but predominantly it's for my illness. So these are some of the drinks that I would recommend that you drink while you're fasting, and they really assist the Sebi herbs. They assist the body in detoxifying while at the same time providing nutrients for the body and some alkalinity. And some of them are a little more acidic when you drink them, and then some of them soak up a lot of toxins. So let's get started. When you're dealing with gut issues, you don't necessarily want to have a lot of sugar or sweet juices. So I'm trying to limit it to a lot of broths and teas that are more medicinal, or things that we know that naturally detoxify the organs, the pancreas, the liver, the stomach. So this is why, the ginger, the onions, all of these things are very sort of medicinal, and they don't have a lot of sugar in them, even if it's natural fruit sugar. The only natural fruit sugar I like to have is the tamarind and the tomatoes and the coconut, of course, because the coconut is just so electrifying to the body. It gives you perfect alkalinity, and then the body has the power to fight. Even though coconut has sugar in it, like has natural fructose, which is good for the body, our body recognizes it. Its mineral charge and its electrical charge is so powerful that it really counterbalances anything that any organism in my body might like. So here's a list of drinks that I drank during my fast in order to sustain some body weight. Although I am extremely thin, I'm like model thin. Because I'm so thin, I could not afford to do my Sebi fast as a pure water fast. I did about 10 days of my fast as water fast, and then I began to take various drinks. I started with the tamarind juice, and the tamarind juice I made by just soaking the tamarind in water and then squeezing it out, emulsifying it with my hands. You don't want to heat the tamarind juice, because if you do, then it's pasteurized and it becomes acidic rather than being alkaline as it already is. So the first thing I started drinking was tamarind juice. After that, I added onion broth, and then I started adding nori to my onion broth, but I would strain it. I also drank tomato broths. Today I'm also going to probably make a mushroom broth. But the main drinks that I found that I had to drink every day that would assist and really work perfectly in tandem with the Sebi herbs was the Irish moss broth, which it forms into a gel when you put it in the fridge. But to drink like about 16 ounces of that really helped to fortify me, and then it has really assisted the herbs in driving things out of my body. But the number one most important drink that I found to drink, and it's one of the number one Sebi herbs, was young coconut water. I would drink 5 coconuts a day, and I scraped out all the meat for smoothies once I've completed my fast. But I drank about 3 in the morning, and that would massively assist the detoxification program and just heighten the amount of mucus coming out of my body. I was concerned about my gut bacteria, so I drank basically it's sauerkraut juice or rejuvelat or kimchi juice, and I found this to be the most satisfying. Really, really helped me out in terms of satiating. The Sebi sea moss broth can be a little bit hard to take, but it's actually not too bad. I would mix it with onions, and that would become a broth that I would drink, or I would drink the onion and nori broth, or I'd mix all three of them together. Today I'm going to just probably experiment with an onion mushroom broth, just so that I feel like I'm getting a few more nutrients, because during the fast I only fasted with about 4 of the Sebi herbs. So of course the tamarind juice is really one of the main ones, and then you guys have seen how I make the rowan berry syrup and the elderberry syrup. So I would dilute water with the rowan berry and elderberry syrup, and that would also assist. So these are all very high iron alkalinizing berries that are in rowan berries and elderberries. And another juice or drink that I made was, and I don't believe it's a Sebi recommended, the hibiscus flower with ginger tea. I would just keep it in a big thermos and drink it. A lot of these juices I would alternate. So I would alternate, for example, the really kind of tart drinks with the hot broths, or with the krauts. Now, the kraut juices and the rejuvelats, now those are not Sebi recommended, but I drank them because I felt I needed the assistance with my gut bacteria. You know, the hibiscus is very high in vitamin C. The elderberry and rowan berries are extremely good for the lymphatic system, for cleansing it out. They're very alkalinizing, high in iron. Of course, almost all the minerals that you need, actually everything you need, is in a coconut. And a lot of the minerals that you need are in the seaweed broths. A lot of the probiotics that you need are in the probiotic drinks. It will help to reset your gut bacteria. And the tamarind juice is extremely alkalinizing. It also helps to assist the body in removing waste, refuse. It gets the colon moving, the gut moving. Like I said, I'm going to try making just a simple mushroom onion broth. So I'll just chop up some mushrooms. I don't put any oil in. I'm not using any oil in my body whatsoever right now, because oil slows your digestive system down. It slows you down. And if you're fasting, you definitely should not be taking in oils. But, you know, you can put oil on your skin to make sure that you look good. And I do tell people I'm fasting, though, if they're like, why aren't you eating? Because it's so antisocial to fast. I found that these were the best things for me to drink. Another thing that I drank, which I felt really assisted with the process, was a tomato juice or a tomato broth. I would put about a whole onion in my juicer with about 4, 5, 6 tomatoes, and I would maybe put some ginger in there as well, spring onions, and I would just run it all through the juicer. There's a few more ingredients that I'll list here, but I would run that all through the juicer, and at night I would drink this, like sort of like my evening, basically tomato V8 liquid. And it would give me some energy, but boy, the stuff that I'm dealing with in my gut hated it. And so I found all of these drinks would majorly assist in driving out the bad things that are in my body, and just really work well with the herbs. So that's one of the reasons why it's a good idea to fast using a lot of broths, because they will have minerals and nutrients in them, but not a lot of sugars, and they should assist with your detoxification and cleansing process. Now, the energy that I do get from the tomato juice, or from the tamarind juice, or from the coconut juice, is is helping to keep me, from wasting. The minerals help to sustain my strength and keep my electric energy high. So that's why I really strongly recommend more so broths. So this is currently what my fridge looks like. You can see I have some of the broth in here, the gel, sea moss gel that I made with onions. And I just strain it all out. Here's some of my coconuts. I still have to crack these open and preserve the flesh. But I've got all these bags of coconut flesh for when I'm going to use them when I break my fast. And I've got a lot of frozen berries ready for berries, bananas. These are the wild berries I picked over the summer. You can take a look at the video on those. And bananas. Here is the tamarind, as I already showed you earlier. I got such a great deal on these coconuts. Honestly, it was just a blessing from God. I got them for like a superstore on a special deal. They're all young coconuts from, they're all organic. Got them from superstore, and they're $1.69 each. So I got about 20. And so I'm going to buy them keep buying them from week to week. I also put lime juice in when I make my tomato juice. Clementines and key limes. I will also put in various greens. Sometimes I will mix in some clementine juice. That's Sebi approved into my juices. And I'm using key limes, but I also use regular limes, depending on what's available at the store. Let's see here. And of course, here's burdock root. Sometimes I'll put that into a juice, but not really. I'm sticking with clear drink and broth. Maybe every 2 days I'll mix this into a juice. This is about the size of the onion. It's a really medium to small onion that I will put in when I make the juice. It's what the Russians do to get rid of pathogens. I had this friend when I was a kid who would eat a whole onion if the kids had worms. That's what their parents would give them. So I never forgot that. But man, that onion, I put a whole onion in. My instincts, my body keeps saying, put a whole onion in. And man, does it work. I will put ginger in the juice as well. So it's a very stimulating, bile clearing, liver assisting tomato juice. I have some organic sriracha, so sometimes I put that in. Not necessarily Sebi approved, but hot peppers I try to put in. Some people say cilantro is Sebi approved and some say it's not. I do put cilantro into my tomato juice. I'll also put some basil into the juice, the tomato juice. And here are some organic tomatoes. So I'll use about 6 of them. This is the juice. It actually turns out green. And this batch I put some of these stewed heirloom tomatoes in it, which were extremely alkaline yellow tomato. So with all of the cilantro and basil, and I put a lot of green stuff in there, onion and stuff, it turned out green. But that's the tomato juice. So if you're fasting and you do have a lot of body weight, then you can afford to not do the juices and just do the herbs. But I know that I need a lot of assistance. I'm just too thin to do a water fast. I think once I've been doing more intermittent fasting throughout the year, I think I'm going to take about a year of doing fasts. I've been listening to this Dr. Ari Latham. He's in Jamaica. He's the first they call him, Oxford Dictionary calls him the father of the raw food movement in the United States and North America. And he's Jamaican and Panamanian background. And he just has some amazing things to say about the stomach. The stomach, to fast actually means for the stomach to hold fast. When you go to sleep at night, when you fast, your stomach closes up. And so it's important when you complete your fast to, or in the morning when you go get up to break fast. You can't put heavy foods in. You shouldn't be having pancakes and all these heavy, starchy foods. The best thing to have when you break your fast at the beginning of the day, of course, is fruit. But I am doing, in doing my fast, I'm not having fruit. I'm just having broths, some juices and teas and so on. So the coconut water he recommends and Sebi recommends as the best thing to break your fast in the morning. And it doesn't actually really break your fast because it's just kind of a liquid. To break your fast does mean, according to him, to have liquid or food, but the stomach cleanses itself better if you have just liquid. And so if you're having the most electrical food on the planet, young coconut water, which sits highest on the tallest tree of any fruit, and it gets the most sunlight, and it has the most water content in it, and it's perfectly balanced for our systems, then it's the ultimate thing for brooming out your system and assisting your body in detoxifying and brooming out your system in the morning and fasting. So then after that, when the sun is at its highest point or close to its highest point, then you're ready to eat well. But one of the things I am finding is that I am not starving, I am not wasting. And I think that's due to some extent to the herbs. And from what I've looked at with a lot of people online, there are people who fast for 30, 60, 90 days. Some people do juices and stuff, but there are a lot of people who do Sebi and they just do herbs. Some people say they just do water and they can go 90 days. Some people have gone 60 days, according to Dr. Sebi. Not 60 days, 6 months on the herbs fasting. So I'm not finding that I'm wasting because, it's one of the commands that the herb shall be meat for you. The fruit of the trees and the herb of the fields shall be meat for you. And so, even though I am very thin, I am not wasting. So that is somewhat inspiring. And also because I'm losing the toxic things that have been robbing and stealing my energy is coming back. But yeah, so as I was saying, you can just do alkaline water. And that's one of the things I'm drinking is alkaline water. And it's electrified alkaline water is what I'm drinking. So I'm drinking, for example, the Kangen water. It's electric molecular water, I believe they call it, because the alkaline charge comes from an electrical charge rather than it being mineral based. So that I find is working very well with my fast also. So I just got in touch with a potential distributor and looked into becoming one myself, and which I am considering. It's kind of lower down on the priority list, but that helped me to get a hold of the water, which I would recommend to others to do. Sebi recommends just spring water or distilled water. The alkaline water still retains minerals, whereas the philosophy with the alkaline water people is that the distilled waters or the reverse osmosis water has nothing in it, so then it goes and robs you of your minerals and so on. So I'm not so sure that that's true. I'm not entirely sure of the science behind that. But anyway, so these are just my suggestions for now for fasting, and this is my day 29. I told you guys I was doing this Sebi fast, and so tomorrow will be day 30, and then I'll do my final update. By the time you get this video, it's all over and done with, but it will take me a while to edit everything together, and so probably in a couple of weeks you'll get my final video on this Sebi 40-day fast. How to end a fast. I think it's probably best to do as much raw food as you possibly can, and I am really leaning towards raw food with a lot of the stuff I'm learning from Eris Lathan. So, and also I'm interested in what the Hippocrates Institute knows about fasting and raw food eating. So one of the things that they talk about that Hippocrates, but mostly Eris Lathan talks about, is that raw food isn't actually raw food, it's cooked food. It's sun-fired food. So I'm not going to say I will become a raw foodist. I will probably be more of the mentality and mindset that I'm going to say I'm going to become a sun-fired foodist. So dehydrated foods, sun-cooked foods, laying things out in the sun to ferment, or under glass in the sun. Those are the kinds of things I'm really interested in, but sticking with the alkaline foods of Sebi. So I think that when I break my fast, likely I would break my fast with vegetables, fermented vegetables, and with raw fruits, pureed raw fruits, but starting off with fermented vegetables, or I guess a ceviche of vegetables. So no fat, but very likely, green peppers, onions, tomatoes, with herbs perhaps in a lime juice. And maybe the night before letting that become a sort of ceviche. And then the day that I break my fast, I'll have that. And then, of course, I will have the coconut meat and coconut milk. And I think that's the best way to break the fast, because it's a low sugar way to do it. Perhaps I may do the coconut meat on the second day with the fruits. But because I have been drinking some fruit juices, like tomato juice is a fruit juice, and so is the tamarind, then I may be able to handle the sugar level. But, with all of this, you've got to keep in mind that as I've gone through my fast, I have been building up to this for 2 years. So I've been doing intermittent fasting. I've done a few 3-day fasts, which I've documented, 10-day fasts, 12-day fasts, which I've documented. You've seen some of them on camera. Not all of them, of course, and with the intermittent fasting, I've done the 1 meal a day many, many, many times. So, or just juice fasting over the weekends. So my body is accustomed to fasting over this 2-year period that I've gone through cleansing and detoxifying my body. And so probably in a couple of weeks, you'll get my final video on the Sebi 40-day fast. So thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to eat well, eat life. And I'll see you again on the next one. Please like and subscribe if you find this interesting. Recommend it to your friends. Share it. It's a lot of kind of yucky stuff I'm talking about, but it's basically a buildup of, several decades of garbage in my system. So I'm finding hormonally for me and everything, it's also working very, very well. So I'll have more information in my final video, which will be the last video on the 40-day fast. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye. Bless.